kind of task, because I was like, I'm struggling, but I'm going to get it, versus I'm struggling. You haven't given me enough. You haven't equipped me enough. I can't do it. So I made myself a learner. And I had to say, if I'm going to see the long-term benefit of this process for myself, not for the business, or saying, sometimes we then say for this client or this business, they benefit more than I do. But we were just talking about sending out bids now, right? And yes, there is a balance. You can't just keep issuing bids and nobody buys. But for me, it's a learning process. I started to ask myself, why didn't they go for it? Why did they go for it? And things like that. So his definition is great. Having the passion first and then the perseverance to go for the long haul is great. So here's another definition of grit. Grit, again, is passion and perseverance for long-term and meaningful goals. It involves maintaining effort and interest. Now, here's the catch. Over years, despite failures, adversity, and plateaus in progress. Now, if you want to be able to measure if you or your brand or business have grit ingrained in them, is to say, when the recessions hit and you are able to overcome and survive as a business and maintain your business culture, and nothing gets impacted there, you have grit. When you are able to think of a rebrand of how you're going to, rethink and recreate and renovate and do all of these things over a pandemic, right? And think of, this is happening now, but 10 years from now, what are we going to look like? Let's start to live in that reality. That's the definition of grit. And personally, I'm going to give a wonderful example here from my notes. Give me a second. If you have any thought, you can just jump in. But here's an example of grit in brand building.